Namaste. Welcome again to this episode of Great Minds, Great Quotes. In this episode, we'll focus on awareness. So, a few wonderful quotations, starting with Nisargadatta Maharaj. As the tiny point of a pencil can draw innumerable pictures, as the tiny point of a pencil can draw innumerable pictures, so does the dimensionless point of awareness draw the content of the vast universe. Find that point and be free. So, as you have noticed that in all previous quotations I brought to you, I add a brief comment. I would like to request you, don't take my brief comment as the entire meaning of that quotation. I'm just trying to help get started with the understanding. Just a pointer, just the beginning of trying to reach the full and real meaning of the quotation. So, what Nisargadatta Maharaj is saying, as I understand it, is the pencil. You can use the point of a pencil to draw innumerable pictures. Similarly, the dimensionless point of awareness can draw the content of the vast universe. So dimensionless, which means that point of awareness doesn't have height, width, length, a field of vision limited to that area, that circumference, or that far distance. It is dimensionless, which means it covers the totality. It's a point of awareness which can cover the totality. It is not looking at this way or that way or that way. One example could be your mind can think a lot of things, can perceive through senses, can imagine the past, visualize the future, have a vision for the future, be at many places at the same time. You're sitting here, but you can be 5,000 miles away, your mind, your thought, to someone you know or some place you know. So mind has almost infinity, or I would say more than infinity. One of the episodes I remember about for the children, that I said, what is infinity? It's not a number. Then I said, what is bigger than infinity? You keep going, and when you think you have reached infinity, which of course will not happen. So the idea is to expand the mind. What is bigger than infinity is the scope of mind that can imagine infinity. So dimensionless point of awareness can draw the content of the vast universe. Now, what is dimensionless point of awareness is like a witness. It is a witness of your imagination. When you are imagining, it is knowing that this is your imagination. When you are describing something, thinking about something, dreaming about something, all these things, there is a companion. The companion of all this thought process is the witness. In Sanskrit, it is called Sakshi. So this witness has infinite potential, not the mind. Mind may have limitations. There are certain things you cannot imagine, certain things you don't like, certain things you prefer to dream about, certain things you move away. But the companion of that, the awareness, is witnessing all this. And from the point of view of awareness, there is no limitation. It doesn't have a boundary. and you can witness all that is happening. And that is a good starting point to begin to understand this quotation. When you find that point of awareness, of witnessing the thought and all the events that are happening, find that point and be free. Here is another short one by Nisargadatta Maharaj. Awareness and matter are the active and passive aspects of pure being. So awareness is witnessing and matter is what is being witnessed. Matter is not witnessing itself. That's why he's calling it passive. The active aspect of reality is the witnessing process, which is witnessing the process and movement of matter, which is of course translatable into energy. Energy and matter make up the material universe, and the active element, the awareness element, also can be called consciousness element, is what is required. The presence of that is required to let the movement and activity, events take place. By the way, Nisargadatta Maharaj has a wonderful book. You might want to get a copy and read slowly. It's called I Am That. I Am That. In Sanskrit, Tat Tvam Asi. It's a great book. You'll enjoy it. This quotation on awareness is from Osho. Awareness means to be in the present moment so totally that there is no movement toward the past, no movement toward the future. All movement stops. Now this topic on present moment, a lot of great thinkers, philosophers have explained it in their own way. One way I can make a comment here is that awareness is, one way to look at it is attention. Not attention as of your mental attention or your sensory attention. You are focusing to look at something, that is also attention, that is visual attention. Or you are touching something, you are trying to listen to something, you are paying attention. But beyond the senses, that aspect of attention, which is paying attention to your senses that are paying attention to the outer world. So wherever you pay attention, that expands in scope. Also, it makes things grow. You pay attention to a plant in your home, you pay attention to the things required, the plant will be happy and will grow nicely. If you ignore it, don't pay attention, it will weaken and decay. So paying attention with full awareness is the key here. So if you look at the present moment, it is actually not a moment you can identify, because the moment you identify a moment, the moment is gone. It's in the past. A lot of people, many of us spend a lot of time thinking about the past, remembering it, the people, events, places, etc., etc. Some are enjoyable, some are not. And also imagining the future, your vision, what you would like to see yourself as, and what you want to accomplish, make a plan, all those things. The movement in past and present can be identified. But your stay for a moment in the present moment is difficult to get hold of. The gesture here is that what if you pay attention, total attention to the present moment expands. And eventually it includes past and present and future. So all these dimensions can be one moment if you pay total attention with awareness, and it expands. So looking at this way, only the present moment expands, because present moment has to expand, has to exist and expand where you exist now, which allows you to move in the future using your mind, and in the past also using your mind. So present moment is sometimes can be complex to understand, but I hope these few words may help you. Meister Eckhart says, very briefly, become aware of what is in you, announce it, pronounce it, and give birth to it. Which means your inner self, awareness, make it find an expression. So your inner awareness is expressed in the outer world and gives you a good understanding, a real understanding of what is there, out there. If your inner self-awareness is limited or biased or has a small dimension, small scope, then you will see the outer world to be shaped by that vision. If your inner self is free of limitations, is not biased, is not limited, then when you look at the outside world, you will see that world in totality and in reality. Mirabai Bush says, if people heighten awareness of their inner states, then they are more apt to come up with new ways of creating a better world. In other words, if you live by the same ideas, same kind of solution, same approach to knowing and doing, then you probably will perpetuate the same problem. So a fresh, more aware attention to the current state of affairs helps you to find new ways to solve the problems that exist around you and create a better world. So again, if people heighten awareness of their inner states, then they are more apt to come up with new ways of creating a better world. A short quotation from Penny Pierce: life becomes aware of you when you become aware of life. It's all a matter of attention with awareness or awareness with attention. Life becomes aware of you when you become aware of it. So, the object and subject, objective world and subjective move, this is where they converge. This is a cute one, another one from Nisargadatta Maharaj. Mind is interested in what happens. Mind is interested in what happens, while awareness is interested in the mind itself. Mind is interested in what happens. Awareness is interested in the mind itself. The child is after the toy, but the mother watches the child, not the toy. I think you can get started on this quote on your own. Here is the eternal words of wisdom from Ramana Maharshi. Mind is vast, not the world. The knower is greater than the known, and the seer is greater than the seen. You as the seer, even using the eyes, are greater than what you are seeing. The knower, your inner self, the knower, is greater than what you know, because it's that capability that you are applying to the knowledge. Mind is vast, not the world. So you see this beautiful comparison between the two aspects, the duality of existence. This is slightly different way of looking at things. When you see the subject and the object, the me and the other, here and there, looking at the two perspectives, two aspects. Whereas from here, if you move to the oneness, that's where the two aspects, inner and the outer, merge. And that is the great philosophy of Vedanta. From manyness to two, from manyness to three actually, and three to two, and two to one. And in another episode, I will try to explain what is the movement from diversity to trinity, to duality, and to unity.